Hey, what's up, you guys? Bringing a very special action figure review to you. This is a classic, but I modernized him. This is my own customized, I believe, Marvel Legends Blade action figure. Now, this is from the Blade 2 series. Well, from the movie, based on the movie, which I can show you guys. See? Wesley Snipes here. You know, just a great picture of him I cut out from my box set. You know, Blade 2. So that's what this action figure is basically. And also I'm standing next to Whistler. So and that was from the, I don't know if it was Toy Biz, I don't know, one of the older companies from the first Blade movie. Also his motorcycle, can't forget about that. So that was an accessory that came with this figure as well. I picked him up a while ago off of eBay. So I recently customized him. I just, wanted to pull one of my old figures out from the shelf. So I'm not going to get into any articulation, anything like that. But this is just to, give you guys a more in-depth, close-up look at how great this figure is. Now, I just had to take him off the this display stand. So this is a very good head sculpt. I love this Wesley Snipes head sculpt. It's just it's so good. I mean, it really captures him. It looks like him. I had to customize, like, one of those plastic things that comes with one of your action figures, so I had to do that. But this is a Marvel Legends coat that I purchased, a Marvel Legends Mezco coat, I believe I purchased off of eBay. I'm so glad that sellers are, selling things like that now. But just look at this figure, and just, it's a wired coat. So, but I mean, the detail on this figure is fantastic. It's funny, I customized him so much. I used a what do you call that? Those wire twist things. The name escapes me right now, but it used to come like with old action figures. Like, they don't do that anymore. But, well, some companies do. It depends. But so I use those twist ties. Right, that's what they call them, twist ties. You can see his sword right there as well, and also his gun. So I'm using the twist ties. Oh my goodness, I'm just so psyched because I love the Blade films, which I'm about to get into in a minute. Anyway, I used the twist ties to hold his gun in place, and store his blade weapon. Look at the detail on that. I mean, just, and there's red in these buttons that he has right there, so that is just awesome. It's just phenomenal. But this Blade head sculpt is tremendous. You can get a good look at his hair. As you can see, nicely sculpted, very nice detail. He has the tattoos that he has from the movie as well, so you can get a good look at that. See that? So this is just a phenomenal figure. I love this figure to death. Love this figure to pieces. I love Wesley Snipes. I watched not all of his movies, but I watched quite a few of his movies. Passenger 57 is another one of my favorite movies from Wesley Snipes. I think that that's the film that turned him into a breakout star that he eventually became, and the Blade movies just excelled him for that. But he was just perfect for Blade, in my opinion. I know he was rumored to play Black Panther back then, but I'm so glad that that didn't happen, because he was made to play Blade. Like, I can't see nobody else but Wesley Snipes being this character, being Blade. So yeah, so this figure is just, oh my god, I can gush on and on about this figure forever. This figure is just phenomenal. I love this figure to pieces, and I'm so glad that I kept him for so long. I've had this figure for a while. I've had him for quite a few years. I think I maybe had this figure for maybe like about 4 or 5 years. You still can catch him on eBay, but he is a little pricey, especially like if certain sellers are selling him inside the box. He's very pricey, but you can get him out of the box maybe for a little cheaper. But I've seen some crazy prices. I've seen some reasonable ones. I've seen some okay ones. I guess it all depends on your wallet, you know, what you can afford, such things like that. But I say that this guy is definitely worth the pickup for so many reasons. Check out some other reviewers with his articulation. I just don't want to get into all that with this figure, but you know, just to give you guys a heads up, he does have loads of articulation. He even has a foot pivot, you know, like in the toe area. Like he has a lot of pivoting in his hands, his toes, you know, his feet. Yeah, so this figure is very, very articulated, and he is just an absolute joy to have. And I have held on to him for years, and I'm so glad that I held on to him, because this figure is one of those rare figures that just stands the test of time. He is just holding up very well, and you know, Marvel Legends really did a fantastic job in sculpting him, you know, back, you know, in that time. Like, even back then, their sculpting was pretty damn good. They were, you know, one of the companies that just knew what they were doing. So I'm so glad that, you know, he was in good hands, and it really looks like Wesley Snipes. Like I said, it really looks like him. He looks unbelievably badass with the way I customized him with this Mezco coat. I love it. It's a wired coat, as you can see. It's, you know, wired, so you can, you know, pose him in different kind of ways. He does come with all the weapons that you see that I've, you know, kind of wrapped around his body with the with those bendy wires, you know, or whatever. Well, I'm going to get into his accessories, but his shades are removable. So it's his sword. You know, he can hold all of his weapons in his hands. Yes, he can. He can hold all of his weapons, so that's awesome as well. His motorcycle is awesome. And if you're a fan of the Blade movies, if you're a fan of Wesley Snipes, this figure is a must-have. And I mean, if I dare be so bold, I say this figure is a must-have, even if you've never seen the movies, or even if you're not a Wesley Snipes fan. Well, if you're not a Wesley Snipes fan, you probably don't want to look at his face. But this figure is that good. It just look at the sculpting work on him. The figure is fantastic, and it really looks like Wesley Snipes. So with that being said, I love the Blade films 1 through 3. Well, I don't love 3 as much as I love 1 and 2. I think a lot of people can kind of agree with that. But I'd still love all 3 films, because Wesley Snipes he's just a man, or, you know, at least he was back at that point in time. But he really is Blade, and I know it's been like a lot of rumblings and rumors. Is he gonna play Blade? Is he not? I think he wants to, but I don't think Marvel has any interest in doing that right now. Maybe in the future, maybe they might get somebody else to be Blade. It's the part of me that just has trouble letting go, like most fans. Like, we only see Robert Downey Jr. could play Iron Man. We only see Chris Evans who can be Captain America, you know. And I feel excuse me, I feel the same way with Wesley Snipes. I just feel like he was born to play Blade, you know. And I know he's older now, but dude can still play Blade. Like, he even said in one of his interviews that I watched earlier, he said that, you know, the ball's in Marvel's court, and, you know, he said that he's still in pretty good physical shape and he can be Blade. And it's true. He's 55 years old, but still he can play Blade. I mean, Robert Downey Jr., if I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong, so don't quote me on this, guys. I don't know every actor's their age, but I think Robert Downey Jr. is in his 50s, I think. So he's still playing Iron Man. So I mean, he's probably not doing that much physical stuff, because, you know, everything is CGI. Like, he doesn't have to put a Iron Man suit on. Like, they just digitize it and make it look like it is. My God, just the computer world. Wow. Anyway, I think I drank too much coffee, because I'm kind of speed talking and rambling. Forgive me, guys. I'm getting a little bit off topic, but yeah, I love the films. The films are classic. They are timeless to me. The Blade series, the Blade trilogy is timeless to me. I would love a Blade 4 film, especially if Wesley Snipes is going to do it. But Disney, Marvel is not going to cross the rated R territory, so it kind of takes away. It's like I'm kind of torn on it. It's like I want a Blade 4 film, but I kind of don't, because if they do it, it's going to be a PG-13 Blade film, and I don't want that. I want the rated R Blade films that we got back in the 90s, early 2000s, but you know, I digress. Anyway, so love the films. They're timeless. I love having this figure in my collection. The vampire mythos, like I've always had a love for the vampire mythos. Like I love the, you know, stories of the vampires and, you know, how they exist and, you know, how they, you know, just their whole life thing. Like that. You know, I'm a fan of that. I've watched a lot of vampire films growing up. Funny story and true story. When I first saw the Blade film, like I knew who Wesley Snipes was, of course, because you know I remember him from Passenger 57. As a matter of fact, that's the first film I ever saw him in. But you know, excuse me. I didn't know that Blade was a Marvel character back then. When Blade first came out in the 90s, I was a teenager, so that just gives you a little clue, hint of how old I am. But anyway, when it first came out, I was like, oh snap, Wesley Snipes is doing a vampire film. But I had no idea that Blade was a comic book character. I had no idea he was a Marvel character. I didn't find that out until years later, and I was rewatching Blade 2. I think I was in my 20s at the time, and I looked at the credits, and it said Stan Lee, and then it said Marvel. And, you know, they were reading off some of the producers who, you know, had a hand in creating Blade. And I was looking, I was like, what the hell? I was like, he's a Marvel cat. Then I started doing some research, because, like, I knew who Marvel was. I knew who Spider-Man was. I knew, you know, so, like, that's how I knew. Then one day I caught a rerun episode of Spider-Man, the animated series, and Blade came on there. And I missed that episode as a kid, you know, because, you know, I was outside playing or whatever, the things that kids do at that age. But I caught Blade on Spider-Man animated series. So that just further, you know, indicated that Blade is a Marvel creation. He was a comic book character. So that just blew me away. So once I knew that, I became a hardcore Blade fan. Like since then, like I love Blade. He's definitely one of my, like I say, like in my top 20. He may be from 15 to 10, because I have a whole lot of characters that I probably love a little more than him, but because Wesley Snipes catched him so perfectly, because I already loved the film before I knew who, you know, Blade even really was, I just became a massive fan. Like I really started getting into comic books more because of that. You know, Blade, the X-Men, Spider-Man, of course, Batman, I grew up with as a kid, but Blade is like, because I already loved the vampire genre, like I said. So just having Blade being a comic book character, I just thought that was the coolest thing ever. And it still is cool to me. It's still a cool thing because it's blending two genres that I love, comic books and the vampire genre. So with that being said, let's get a little bit into Blade more. Well, let's take a little look at Whistler here. So this is a pretty cool figure. I picked him up off eBay as well. Like I said, his jacket is removable, so you can remove his jacket, and actually he will look pretty cool if you remove it. You guys want to see that? So this is Whistler's jacket. I keep saying jacket. Vest, you know, like the vest that he wore from. Now, I brought Whistler loose off eBay, so he came with a ton of accessories, but buying him new in the plastic just costs too much money, and I didn't want to go that route. So you get a good look at his hair. Very, you know, pretty decent, pretty nicely sculpted. Now, it doesn't really look like the actor who played Whistler, but it's good enough. So he doesn't really have a lot of articulation. You know, like, oh, well, he does have that. You're a vampire too? He actually was in Blade Part 2 for like a short stint because he supposedly died in the first film, and then, you know, just watch the films. You guys will not be disappointed if you haven't watched the films. But if you guys are fans of the Blade trilogy, just, you know, shoot me some comments down below. Let me know how you feel about the franchise. And you guys let me know what you think if it will be a Blade 4 film. So that's Mr. Whistler. So let's get Whistler out the way. Damn it. And let's get back into Mr. Blade here. So this is the comparison of the first Blade from the first film. Now you can see this one is far superior. This is Blade 2. This is Blade 1. This Blade is not bad either. He's nice, and this is the coat that he comes with. I also customized him. I put this on his leg. It's funny, I took this off of him and put it on him, and then I just took his accessory and added to his leg. But anyway, I'm about to get into all that in a second. So, you know, this is his coat and everything. You know, you see a little thing there. You know, he got the same tattoo design and everything like but it's just way better on this figure. He came with a shitload of accessories too, but I lost them all, so sorry about that, guys. But you know, you can see the detail here. There ain't a whole lot of articulation with him either, so that's just that. Now, for those of you who don't know who this is Michael Morbius. He's a Spider-Man character, but he's intertwined with the Blade mythos as well. So you could, you know, you could remove his jacket as well. Wait, should I? Should I? So this is Mr. Michael Morbius without his jacket on. And actually, it doesn't look that weird because people wear shirts like this, or I don't know, maybe it might look weird to you guys. So this is a very interesting sculpt. He's a very old figure. He has a gimmick in his head, which I'm about to show y'all what that is. But it's not really a whole lot of articulation to him either because he's such an old figure. It's like, you know, no waist, nothing, just ordinary bends. That's about it. So really nothing with him much. Get a look at his hands, you know, and those veins and everything. I really do like that. That I appreciate the heck out of. You see his nails there, you know, everything like that. It looks really good. Now his gimmick is interesting, so check this out. Yeah, I just thought I'd put the coat back on it. So you squeeze his legs. You squeeze his legs, and then that's the gimmick. I know it's kind of silly to you guys, but I think it's pretty cool. It may be old, it may be silly, but that's pretty cool. He goes from, you know, regular Michael Morbius to Vampire Morbius. So I just think that that's cool. I mean, it can get a little bit annoying because sometimes the head don't want to turn right. You have to turn it a couple times. And even though his hair looks a little it's a separate sculpted piece, it looks a little weird sometimes, especially from certain angles. But I appreciate the sculpting of, you know, both sides of the face. You know, the Michael Morbius and the, you know, monster, vampire, you know, Michael Morbius. He's an interesting character, though. They actually are, you know, now they're talking about a possible Blade 4 movie, but there's also a possibility of a Michael Morbius film that Sony wants to do. You know what? I'm not even going to get started with Sony because they're kind of pissing me off. I mean, I know a lot of people are excited about the Venom film that's coming out, but I'm just not, because Sony just did. You know what? I'm not going to get started on that. I'm going to save that for another video. So let me just break down to you guys, you know, what else is great about the Blade customized figure that I've done. And I almost forgot another vampire figure that I have. I'm just breaking out all the vamps this morning. So I her thing kind of got torn, her cape. You know, sometimes I need to take better care of my things. You know, even my wife said that. And I dropped Blade back there. He fell. Sorry, Blade. I like the blue sculpting in her hair. I really like that. Her cape is removable, though. You know, I could take it off. Let's see if I can. Wait a minute. It's kind of taking off. Well, anyway, ooh, big boobies. Honk, 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 honk. Oh my God, my wife is gonna kill me. She has painted fingernails. You know, so she also wears heels. Very nice. And I do like the, you know, it's like a soft material. Her name is Liseth, so I don't know what, you know, like genre she's from, like, or what series, or if she's from a comic book, or if she's from, I don't know, some kind of movie that I don't know about, or cartoon, I don't know, but she's just a cool vampire looking figure. And, you know, I just wanted to add her to, you know, wow, nice, nice. I like that. Very nice sculpting for Liseth here. Eureka, yay, I got her cape thingy off. So, there she is. Pretty as a picture. And dangerous and deadly. And ooh, vamp booty. My wife is gonna freaking kill me. I hope she don't watch this video. And last but God, certainly not least. So, Mr. Wesley Snipes' blade here. So, let me just break down his accessories and all that good stuff. And so, like I said, everything is removable. I customized him. As you can see Mr. Wesley Snipes here. If my stupid camera stops acting dumb. I want to show his eyes. There we go. So, look at this head sculpt of Mr. Wesley Snipes. And really good. Wish I could get a more close up on his eyes, but if you can see that, excuse the scuffage on my figure because I've had him for a while, like I said, but look at those eyes. If you can see it, guys, hope you can. But yeah, they even sculpted how his light brown eyes are in the movie, because, you know, Blade has Wesley Snipes' eyes not that bright, but I believe he's wearing contacts in the film. But yeah, so really great detail sculpting in his hair. See the tattoos, all of that. The definition of his muscles. Look at that. Diesel Wesley Snipes. No surprise there. So, you know, just all the great detail. You see the gloves. You see his pants. So, like I said, you see the boots. So, you know, he has loads of articulation, but I'm not doing that in this video. Like I said, check out some other reviewers. You might enjoy that. And like I said, he can hold all of his accessories. I kind of got him holding his blade thing kind of weird, but he can hold his gun. As you can see, he can hold all of his accessory. Let's not forget his famous sword. He can hold his sword, no problem. Love this sword, love the design of it, love the detail. And it goes in his back. So if you remove it, stick it back there in that specialized sheath thing that he has. Push it down a little bit, or, you know, up a little bit, however you prefer. But yeah, so yep, complete blade figure, and I love the way I have him customized just for me. I love that. So yes, that's my review. Definitely highly worth a pickup. And if you guys can get lucky like me and customize them, you know, that'd be fantastic for your collection. So I'm definitely happy to have him to my collection. And you guys let me know what you think about the future of the Blade films. Would you like to see another Blade film? Do you think it's going to happen? You think it's not going to happen? So let me know how you guys feel. He's definitely highly worth a pickup. You can find him on eBay, Amazon, or, you know, wherever your online shops, or maybe even your comic book store. You can get lucky and find them. But that being said, it's the review of my custom classic Marvel Legends Blade 2 action figure. Highly recommended. Until the next time, see ya, bloodsuckers.